Hello, everyone. Now that I have the ball rolling on my channel, I keep bumping into more interesting topics I know you'll want to hear more about. If you're enjoying any of my videos, please either like, subscribe, or comment. I've got to get myself into the algorithm. Today's video is about the mysterious Challenger Deep. The Challenger Deep, otherwise known as the Mariana Trench, is the deepest point known in the Earth's oceans. Obviously, this is interesting for many reasons. In today's video, I'm going to talk more about what makes the Challenger Deep so mysterious, and also going to talk about the animals that we can find in the deepest parts of the ocean. Part 1. What is the Challenger Deep? The Mariana Trench is located in the West Pacific Ocean, somewhere between Hawaii and the Philippines, near the island of Guam. The Mariana Trench rests below the ocean's surface and includes 12 trenches in total. The Challenger Deep is the deepest part of the Mariana Trench, bottoming out at a depth of 36,037 feet. This roughly equates to 7 miles deep. For a comparison, Mount Everest is 29,026 feet. The Mariana Trench was discovered on March 23, 1875. The British Royal Navy survey ship, the HMS Challenger, first unveiled and recorded the depths of the Mariana Trench. The Challenger Deep is shrouded in mystery due to the fact that it's so dangerous and many humans wouldn't dare take on such a challenge to actually go into the trench. The depths of the trench are pitch black, as light cannot reach anywhere beyond 3,280 feet roughly. Not only is there complete darkness, but the temperatures are only a few degrees above freezing. As if freezing temps and darkness didn't make it terrifying enough, the water pressure is a crushing 8 tons per square inch. This type of pressure would literally vaporize human bones. Up from the seafloor at the very bottom of the trenches, liquid sulfur and carbon dioxide bubble up to the surface. This phenomenon isn't seen anywhere else in the entire ocean. Aiding in that, there are also active mud volcanoes scattered around the entirety of the Mariana Trench. It wouldn't seem possible, but some wildlife actually inhabit these desolate areas. Because the Mariana Trenches are a difficult study subject, there is so much still unknown about it and the animals that live there. There have been many people brave enough to go down through the Challenger Deep, and I am just going to touch on a few notable instances. The very first human touchdown in Challenger Deep was by two men by the name of Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard in 1960. They traveled down in a U.S. Navy submersible, a babyscape by the name of the Trieste. In case you didn't know, a babyscape is another name for a manned submersible vessel, a free-diving, self-propelled deep-sea one. The trip was a 5-hour descent down, and they only spent 20 minutes on the ocean floor. The duo were unable to see much of anything when they got to the seabed, as they rustled up so much silt they were unable to see anything. This even meant they were unable to take pictures. 2 women have also visited the Challenger Deep, an astronaut by the name of Catherine D. Sullivan and a mountaineer, Vanessa O'Brien. They recently went in 2020. But the most notable was the very first solo visit to the Challenger Deep in 2012 made by film director James Cameron. His trip was in the submersible he aptly named the Deep Sea Challenger. On Cameron's descent, they were able to take photos, and videos with HD 3D cameras. His journey to the floor only lasted 2 hours and 36 minutes, which was a lot less than the 5-hour descent the duo made. Of course, many years have gone by and technology has become much better. And because of that, Cameron was able to spend 3 hours on the seabed, gathering samples, taking photos, and getting crucial video. Just a fun fact for you all. The Mariana Trench is actually a U.S. territory. In 2009, President George W. Bush declared it the Mariana Trench Marine National Monument, and it created a protected marine reserve for 195 square miles of seafloor and waters surrounding the islands. It includes most of the Mariana Trench, 2 underwater volcanoes, and areas around the 3 islands. Part 2: Animals of the Deep. It is amazing to think that under 80 tons of crushing water pressure with freezing temps in a world bathed in darkness, that life would still exist. This segment is about the death-defying animals that call the depths of the Mariana Trench their home. It has very well been a journey in discovering the animals of the deep. There are many marine life out there that we still haven't uncovered, as we have truly only explored roughly 1/5 of the world's oceans. The journey began in 1864 when the first living sea lily was discovered and brought ashore from 10,000 feet below the water's surface. This was proving that life was propagating in deep waters. Although the sea lily sounds like a plant, it is actually an animal known as a hydroid, a stalk-shaped one with tentacles. In 2014, an expedition revealed that the world's deepest living fish was found 26,722 feet below the surface, called the snailfish. The snailfish is a long, soft, scaleless fish that only grow to a maximum length of 12 inches long. Their body contains barely any bones and is made up of a gelatinous flesh, held together by the pressures of the water surrounding them. Food for these animals are scarce. Some of the deep sea marine life live off chemicals or are scavengers and feed off of dead animals that float down from above. Some microbes in the depths even snack on methane and sulfur in the water. The 3 most common organisms found in the Mariana Trench are xenophyophores, amphipods, and small sea cucumbers. Now, let's take a view into animals that inhabit the deep. These may not all reside in the Mariana Trench, but some do, and the others you would still find in deep pockets of the ocean throughout the world, larger than themselves. The stout black smelt is also known as the owlfish due to its large eyes. These fish are predatory and feed on small crustaceans. Their enormous eyes are used to absorb as much light as possible, so they're able to hunt in the dim lighting. Tripod fish. This fish perches most of its days on the ocean floor hunting for food. It stands over the ocean floor like a tripod, using its 3 elongated fins to keep it stable, hence the name of tripod. It has no visual capabilities, so it uses tactile and mechanosensory cues to identify food. Lanternfish. This is one of the deep sea fish that produces its own light. The light given off by its tiny organs are known as photophores. They're located on the fish's head, underside, and tail. The light emanating off of their body is used to attract prey and for mating purposes. There are over 200 species of the lanternfish, and they're one of the most common deep sea animals. Bone worms. Discovered in 2004, the bone worm feeds on the bones of dead whales and other dead mammals. This animal has no eyes, legs, mouth, or stomach, but has colorful, feathery plumes and green roots. Ping pong tree sponge. The ping pong tree sponge is a carnivorous sponge. One of many, there are many different types of the carnivorous sponge, which I was unaware of. And as they use their hooked spicules to capture small crustacean for their meals. This is why they are carnivorous. At the end of each stem, a beautiful little globe is attached, making them a curious and majestic creature, but also one whom is deadly. The Dumbo octopus is a rare creature to come upon. It is the deepest dwelling octopus known in all of science. It swallows its prey whole and uses its ear-like fins to propel themselves through the water by slowly flapping them, and then uses its arms to steer. They are foraging predators who mainly feed on snails and worms. The sea devil anglerfish. This has become one of my favorite fish I've read about so far. It's made cartoon appearances in films, including Finding Nemo, as its appearance is so striking and terrifying. This animal is rare to see, and there are only a few incidents where they have been able to videotape or photograph them. They have huge mouths that inhale prey, and they are believed to be ambush predators as their bodies aren't built for speed. They also have a light producing barbell fishing lure that lures in their prey. And I think that's the thing about them that makes them so unique. The deep sea dragonfish. This is a fish but has no scales, and its skin resembles that of an eel. They only grow roughly to 6 inches long, so as intimidating as it appears, they are rather small. These fish have bioluminescence and also carry a light-producing barbell, looking like a fishing lure, like the sea devil anglerfish. Goblin shark. As the list goes on, it seemingly gets more terrifying, as the goblin shark looks as though it came right from a sci-fi movie. Their distinctive profile, accompanied by the elongated and protruding jaw and flat snout, truly make it one of a kind. These beauties can grow up to be 20 feet long, and they hunt for crustaceans, cephalopods, and telosed fishes. One of the telosed fishes being the dragonfish that we talked about earlier. They are able to distend their jaws dramatically far out to catch prey, and then the jaw quickly retracts back. Currently, it is seen that adult goblin sharks can travel to deeper depths of the ocean than juvenile ones. And then we have amphipods, which we said earlier are a very common thing found in the Mariana Trenches. Specifically, the species Hyrondelia gigas was found on the floor of the Challenger Deep recently. Through testing, scientists found that this species is able to survive so deep as it has created a sheet of aluminum armor around its body. To be specific, a layer of aluminum hydroxide gel covering the surface of its exoskeleton. This armor alleviates stress from the deep sea pressures as well as stops the amphipod from leaching calcium carbonate and disintegrating. Looking throughout the world, we are bound to find many wonders and treasures. Little pockets of hidden mysteries are hidden amongst us everywhere, from the seas to space and everything in between. The Mariana Trench is just another example of what the Earth hides from us. We know very little of what lurks in the frigid and black areas of the Challenger Deep, and it can be seen that we may never know. Thank you again for tuning into the second episode of Into the Unknown. If you like this video, hit that button for me or comment down below. I'd love feedback or requests to research specific topics you're interested in. I hope to see you all again soon.